guys, this is Mark Goldberg from Mark Vlogs Watches. At the end of this video, if you found it interesting or if you liked it, go ahead and like and subscribe because it really helps me out. Thanks. What's in your watch winder? Do you have a watch winder? Yep, that's me in the reflection. You're not going to see me for long because I'm going to open this puppy up. I do have a watch winder because I'm a little bit anal about keeping everything wound up. Yes, it's not only a hobby, it's also an illness. Okay, so let's open this guy up here and I'll show you. There's pluses and minuses to a watch winder. This one comes from Brookstone, by the way. I'll show you a picture of it. And the price, I just got it online. In fact, I got it through American Express with some points, so I didn't even have to pay for it, which is good because I think this thing's a little expensive. But you're going to see that these guys are turning on some sort of a schedule. From left to right, the first three on the left are rotating at a slower schedule, and the one on the right is rotating a little more frequently. And that's because I found the one on the right, that particular watch needed more motion to keep its power reserve going, to keep wound. Sometimes the thing would die on me, and we'll talk a bit more about each of these watches in a moment. But one of the problems that I have with it, as you can see, is that I constantly, every time I look at it, I have to tweak that a little bit. They do get a little off as we go. So this is not really going to be a review. Oh, look, they're all a little off. God. There we go. Now that one. Okay. It's a never-ending battle. I probably, look what happened. Screw it. Frankly, I should probably be medicated. If I didn't have these watches to keep me occupied, more than likely I'd be washing my hands 52 times a day and, trying to not step on cracks. But look, this is not a review of the watch winder. I'll do that later. It's not a review of the watches. This is more like a playlist, like, what's on my iPod. And this is what's in my watch winder these days. So on the left, we have the Rolex Polar Explorer. This is reference number 16570. I really do like this watch. It's a bit smaller than the rest of the watches in this case. As you'll notice, this one is 40 millimeters, but it has a really cool bezel and a cool GMT hand, and it's a relatively affordable Rolex watch. So I do like it for that. Its approximate cost, you'll pay $2,500 to $3,500 for one of these puppies. Probably closer to the upper end these days. I can't stand it. I'm going to fix it. That fix probably won't last long. But yeah, the next watch in rotation here is the Deep Blue. It's the Rolex Deep Sea Deep Blue. You kind of get a decent idea of its color here depending on the angle of the camera. That is reference number 116660. And the tricky thing about this reference number is that it goes for all the deep sea Rolex watches, all the deep sea Seadwellers. So some of them are just in black, and some of them have that blue dial. You can see it kind of blue fading into black. So the only way really you can distinguish that is the price, and or people just call them the deep blue. So you can buy the black version of this watch. I think the black version of this watch is a tremendous value because you can get it for, I don't know, I would say probably as low as $7,000, $7,500. The blue version is going to cost you more. That's going to be up into the $12,000 to $14,000 range. And of course, I'm talking used prices. Now, the next watch here is a favorite. It's the Marathon Jumbo Day Date, or the Marathon JDD. And I've done a review already of that watch. I did a review also of the Deep Blue. Those are both elsewhere on my channel. So if you haven't seen those, please do me a favor and click on my name after you subscribe. And then you'll have access to all of the tape or videos that I've done so far. So have a look, because the JDD, it's a beater watch, but I really like it. It's big, 40 millimeter, 44 millimeter, 46 millimeters. So it's a big jumbo man watch, and I can bang it around and I don't feel bad about it. I really like it. And this one has tritium tubes, so I like that quite a lot. And then The next watch in rotation over here, this one, you know, normally I don't like homage watches. Bruce Williams just did a review. I recommend that you go look at it, of the Borealis Estoril. This is the Borealis Scout Sniper. And Bruce mentioned in his video something that I'll say also, which is I'm not usually a big fan of the homage watch, but man, there is just something about this watch that I dearly love. It's really kind of an homage. You'll notice there's some similarity between these two watches, and that's because the watch on the left is made by the Marathon Watch Company, a very well-known manufacturer, Canadian-based, making the watches in Switzerland for whatever that's worth, of military watches. And this is an homage to a different Marathon model called the Marathon GSAR, Government Search and Rescue. This watch is made by Borealis, which is a micro brand. They come from Portugal, and they closed this watch out. I think it originally sold for around $350, but I purchased it brand new from Borealis for $299, and I love it so much I'm going to review it. But it also has tritium. And man, this is the best $250 I've ever spent. Yeah, $250, that's what I spent on it. You know, their movements are all different. The two Rolexes on the left obviously have Rolex in-house movements. The Marathon JDD is using a Sellita, I think 200 movement, but which is just a clone of an ETA. This sucker is crazy accurate. I want to say it's something on the order of losing maybe 1 to 1.5 seconds per day, which puts it on par with this watch here. The deep blue is running insanely accurate also. The Borealis has an NH35 Seiko movement, and that's what Seiko, I think one of their cheaper movements that they provide to the aftermarket. And it's not quite as accurate, but it's, look, I'll time this one because I'll review this particular watch, but I know this is not gaining or losing any more than 6 to 8 seconds per day. So for $250, sapphire crystal tritium tubes, I'm thrilled. Anyway, that is what's in my watch winder. So let me ask you a couple questions. Do you have a watch winder? And do you like it? And also, what's in your watch winder right now? Here's a closer look at the watch winder that I bought from brookstone.com. It's a quad, and it's very quiet and costs $229. Hey, don't forget to like and please subscribe. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Just a couple quick notes here at the end. That watch winder that I showed you, it's actually my second one. The first one I kept for only one night, and then I returned it right away. It was a cheap one that I bought from Amazon. The problem with it is that I'm a light sleeper, and I like to have this thing on my nightstand so that, you know, I can kind of like just roll over in my bed and oogle my watches. And the problem is I needed it to be like super quiet. So the one that I have now, it's rotating all night long. And man, if an ant farts, I am awake, but that thing does not wake me up, so that's really good. Here's what I want to know in the comments. First, do you have a watch winder? And if so, do you like yours? And second, hey, if you have a watch winder, what's in it?